Hello, dear friends. Materialism tends towards disorder, and spirituality tends towards unity, according to Poetog. Opinion piece. Painful birth. Turbulent world. Invisible dark forces. Something is changing. Inner and collective change. Let's start. We are witnessing the silent decline of an old world order and the tumultuous birth of a new one. According to Charlie Ward, not only is a profound transformation underway, but it is accelerating globally. He argues that current institutions are plagued by corruption and hidden control, and that this system is being gradually dismantled. In this context, the text mentions the transition to a new form of organization characterized as a structural and value-based shift. There is a global struggle against networks of corruption and human exploitation. As signs of a coordinated operation, he cites the arrest of judges and lawyers in the UK and Italy to dismantle this system out of the public eye. He also highlights the role of culture, especially the arts and music, as tools for influence and social transformation, with the potential to generate changes in perception and collective consciousness. Sound, vibration, and creativity can heal and help recover truth and beauty in the face of intellectual deception. He also emphasizes a spiritual approach based on faith, humility, and leadership to prevent corruption and guide social change. Political, cultural, and spiritual change are all part of the same process. He proposes replacing centralized control with local self-government, customary law, and divine principles within a gradual transition. Dark forces. According to Moore, the invisible dark forces have no power, only lies. We exist in a system maintained by light forces that allows for a certain degree of manipulation by the dark forces and grants human beings free will to choose between good and evil. We live many lives, and the soul remains intact. We forget who we are, and each time our goal is to awaken spiritually and remember. The dark forces want us to believe in wrathful gods, that humans are alone, that Earth is a separate world, and that everything that is not human is evil, because these beliefs serve the dark forces. According to the Pleiadian teachings, we understand that the human person is temporary and the soul is eternal. Reset news. The IMF warns that the old system is in trouble. Xi Jinping says that the world order is crumbling into chaos. We are witnessing the world's most powerful reset according to Clandestine. 63 banks are hiding $570 billion in losses according to Geisteller. White hats are taking control of a massive underground city beneath Denver and New York, according to Geisteller. The White Hats linked the current global oil conflict to operations to rescue victims of human trafficking. The reason of the New World Order failed according to Proletario. The Dragon family, composed of ancient Asian royal lineages, withdrew its support for the New World Order due to concerns about losing power and control, leading to a reevaluation of its alliances. The Dragon family, composed of, and it's repetition, Middle East. The US and Iran could resume talks this week despite the blockade. The US seeks a total embargo on Iran with the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. At least 15 US Navy ships are in the area. A third ship linked to Iran crosses the Strait of Hormuz. An oil tanker bound to China was forced to change course before crossing the strait due to the blockade. More than 20 ships approved by the US pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran announces it will allow safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz for 2 weeks. Iran faces an existential threat stemming from the economic cost of the blockade. The Saudis are pressuring Trump to lift the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. US allies reject the plan to block the Strait of Hormuz. Delegations from Israel and Lebanon begin negotiations in Washington. Turkey is preparing to enter Israel. At least they said this. Pakistan demands that Israel withdraw from all occupied territories. Economy. Bitcoin nears its highest level since the war. The IMF lowers its global growth forecast due to the war. Oil falls below $100 a barrel again. Fund managers see interest rate hikes and oil between $80 and $90 by year's end. The IMF is preparing up to $50 billion in aid for affected economies. JP Morgan's profits rise 13% thanks to investment banking and trading. Europe. The EU gives the green light to robots that clean up waste from the seabed. Italy suspends the automatic renewal of its defense agreement with Israel. France plans a €10 billion investment to reduce its dependence on gas and oil. Denmark states that Israel is an obstacle to peace in the Middle East. Spain. Spain will buy oil from Iran using the Chinese yuan. The government approves the regularization of 500,000 immigrants without criminal records. The IMF applies to Spain the largest upward revision of inflation in the world. Government spending grows twice as fast as tax revenue during the Sánchez era. Judge Peinado indicts Begoña Gómez on 4 charges. Aerospace giant Airbus appoints the Spaniard Amparo Morales as its new president. The Spanish government creates an office to compensate victims of church abuse. Students are losing their ability to debate because they are delegating their reasoning to AI. Swedish authorities release the Huiyang cargo ship bound for Spain from Russia. Robots made in Spain set out to conquer the world. The Franco Foundation says the government wants to dissolve them to cover up corruption. Americas. A record fleet of tankers heads to the Gulf of Mexico to load oil. Mexico City prepares for the World Cup amid rushed and unpopular construction projects. Mexico is the only American country among the world's top 10 exporters. Mexico records its lowest homicide rate in a decade. Petro backtracks on imposing 100% tariffs on Ecuador. The Colombian government approves the killing of hippos to control their population. The US relaxes sanctions imposed against Venezuela. Venezuela signs an agreement expanding Chevron's operations in the oil industry. Venezuelan parliament approves mining law to promote foreign investment. Vladimir Padrino returns to the Venezuelan government as Minister of Agriculture. Peru deploys more than 100,000 uniformed personnel to guarantee order during elections. Peruvians go to the elections hoping to overcome their long-standing political crisis. Uruguay reports a historic low in homicides so far this year. Argentina is going to have very significant economic growth this year. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.